Hello all, welcome to this course on ISTQB Foundation of Examination Preparation. And this is a chapter 2, testing throughout the software development lifecycle. In this video, you are going to learn about the models. Alright, see here the software development lifecycle models in context. So here in this video, you are going to learn about the two models. One is the conventional model and traditional model, that is waterfall, and another one is the V model, that is the most successful model that we are following now so far in most of the organization. All right, so let's start with the conventional model so that your base will be strong. That is, a foundation should be strong so that you can understand the significance and importance of the V model if you understand the drawbacks of the waterfall model. So the term waterfall itself you can understand, so something it's coming down. So once it comes down, then only the significant. All right, so then only the role play starts. So that is the waterfall model. See here, so requirements. So once the requirements has been received to the development team, then they start to analyze this. As soon they start to analyze, then they design. So the design includes, they may be the architecture, or they may be the flow charts, whatever it is, or depends on the software product and the methodology and the techniques that they are in. Then they implement the code. So once the code is ready and the unit test maybe has been done by the development team, that is be the first testing in the testing, so that as soon the product has been complete, the software has been completed, the unit test starts to be on. So once the unit test, then only the other three levels of testing has been taken care. All right, so that is what, after the coding only the testers role starts. So that is what all about the waterfall model. So once the testing has been completed, if there is any issue, they will rise, then it will goes to the uh, developers team to fix it. So once the fix has been done, then it will comes to the retesting. Once the retesting is fine, then it will be closed, otherwise it will be reopened. So that is what all about the waterfall model is. So here the tester role is on the bottom. All right, so even the requirement comes, there is no accessibility to the testers to go through. So as soon they get the code, then only they will analyze the requirement. So that is what all about the waterfall model. That is a traditional approach and conventional approach. So here, as we have gone through in our previous video, if you remember the scenario 1 and 2, right? So that is what all about the waterfall model. It is a kind of failure model, and it will take more time and will waste more time. And definitely with this model and with this approach, it is not possible to deliver the software on a very quicker basis. All right, so for this replication, the V model comes into picture. See, this is a beauty of the V model, and here you don't confuse with these are all not in the ISTQB syllabus. These are all for your understanding. So this you will understand at last. First we'll see and understand about the ISTQB perspective. All right, see, in ISTQB perspective, what they try to mean is, see, this is a V model. As soon the developers, see, this side is a developer side and this side is a tester side. As soon the developers getting the requirement, the testers also get the requirement, and they'll draft or they will finalize the acceptance criteria with respect to the requirements. Say for example, I can give you the very quick example. See, if the project is for the Axis Bank, all right, so this is the spelling of the Axis, and in the acceptance level criteria, so they will give this as a criteria. The name and the logo should match as per the requirement document. So here it has been ready. So as soon the software is getting ready, then they'll validate this. So this is one set of test I have given explanation. Like this, we have, there is some calculation, this or that also will be kept ready in this acceptance testing. Then analysis and structure, that is a integration. So what, by looking at the time of the analysis and the architecture, and testers has to be taken part, not directly or not very closely. Of course, they'll have a access to understand the architecture and the design so that it is very helpful for the integration. So, for example, if they find the flowchart like this, all right, like this, so they can come to know here there is some decision statement has been given. So this decision statement has to be validate or checked by the testers with the requirement document, and it will be very easy for them at the time of integration testing, because integration testing is a integration between the two components. All right, so that's all in this integration test. And when the design phase, so here there will be the unit testing or the component testing has been taken forward. Or here similarly you have the system testing as well. So it is like a system or the system integration. All right, so it is more or less, it is a concept wise it is same. So when it is in the design phase, it will be the component level testing. And here analysis and architecture has been mentioned as an integration test. If there is an analysis, architecture and the implementation, that time they'll mention as a integration test and the system level test. But the concepts wise, it is the this developers activity, that is the testers role will be in all the levels of development activity. All right, and on the coding phase, once the code is done, so what happens is whatever the product has been ready, so testers role has to cross check, that is has to execute. All right, so on a very simple term, before the coding there will be a static testing goes on, like going through the requirement document, checking the architecture or the design, or checking the unit plan. So everything will be on a static level testing, and as soon the code has been developed, then the dynamic testing started. That is the execution starts. All right. So this is on a basis of the ISTQB, and if for your outside the box, if you want to think, see in this you can make it two phases. For the developers, it will be a concept phase on the preliminary design phase, and for the testers we have an integration and test phase and the release or production phase. So these are all the two phases that they'll be working on at the time of their life cycle. And the critical design phase is a one that for both it will be a critical, because it is on a, with respect to the development of the code, and here it is with the execution of the code. All right, so this is what the critical design phase is. So here the mostly the probability of the criticality is for 90% is for the developers and 10% is for the testers, and this percentage is now nowhere it's been designed, and it's I'm just giving you for a better understanding. And similarly on the release and the production phase, here 90% of the risk and the criticality for the testers, and here for the developers it will be 10%. All right, so this is all the phase you have to just understand on your work perspective. And that's all about this V model. And in the next video we'll have the remaining parts, that is the levels of testing and other concepts as well. I'll get back to you in the next video. If you have any queries, please feel free to connect so that we'll try to solve as soon as possible.